Good morning, everyone. I will start the session in next 2 minutes. Yeah, let's start. So I would give a quick recap of yesterday what we have done. So yeah, yesterday we have gone through about exception handling, how to handle, why we need exception handling, right? So if there's any unwanted code wherein some error might occur, so just our execution shouldn't be stopped. So that's the reason we just want to handle that. So how to handle that? We have used try catch methods, right? The blocks. So in try, we used to write the code, whichever line of code, whichever line of code would give us an exception. So we would write that in try block. For example, here we have declared an int array of integers, right? So in this, we are trying to access an element which is not there in this list. So basically, yeah, this would give us an exception saying this element is not present, something is out of bound, right? So that particular line of code, we write it in try block, and then in catch, we write what type of exception we get, and then we just handle what we want to do with that exception. Do we just want to do empty? Anything you don't want to do, just leave it blank. If you want to print, show something to the user saying this thing like you are in the catch block because some exception have occurred, so you can print those things. And also there would be a finally block wherein irrespective of try is executed or catch is executed, so it finally would be executed for sure. So the same way for numbers. So a number divisible by 0 is not possible, right? So that's where we get arithmetic exception. So that we catch it here and say we'll just give a user friendly message saying number is not divisible by 0. Check your code properly. So that way we can write it in catch. Same way for other thing, like if we have a string, a null value, and null value, we are just trying to access the length of that string, so it would give us null pointer exception, and that we can show it here. Same way, what else? So multiple catch blocks as well we can write, as I said. So if you know what type of exception might occur with the lines of code that you have written, those catch exceptions you can write, or else just one single parent exception block as well you can write. And then if none of this, or if it is there or not, it would basically go to your exception catch block, and then it would just handle that based on what you have written. So that way. And then next thing that we have discussed was constructor. So basically constructor, by default we would have a default constructor with empty, nothing done in the code, right? So nothing done in code. So by default, any class when it is created, it would have this type of default constructor. So in default constructor as well, we can write some piece of codes. And then for example, here we have declared two variables in the class level, instance variable, what we call, and then those values we are just initializing values before asking it to print it. So here we are printing, right? So if you just print without assigning any values, so it would give us default values, which is for integer it would give us 0, for string it would give us null. So Can everyone mute themselves if they're not speaking here? So that was a default constructor. And then about a parameterized constructor, again, if you just don't want to hard code or give a static values to the variables, so dynamically whenever an object is created from there itself, if you just want to pass some value, so we can create dynamic parameterized constructor, and that parameterized constructor values we can give it here. So here we have written, we were taking this two parameters, number and a name, and that we are assigning to the class variables. Once it is assigned, that constructor, if you see here, we are calling creating the object of that class. So object of that class with parameters. So parameters is what we want: a number first, and then a name second, and then we are just printing. So once we execute this, it gives us whatever we were setting. If you see here, 50 and name, so that we were asking to print. So this is all about yesterday what we have done, and now today we will go through the main topics which we consider in Java. So OOPS concept. So here first of all, that one is just a general class. Hello, who's this? Can you mute them? So there's a lot of disturbance. Excuse me, who's this? 43582A16. Can you mute yourself, please? Who has joined just now? Hello, can everyone hear me? Yeah, thank you for muting. So here, so OOPS concept, right? So what we'll do is, what is this OOPS concept? So we have already gone through the object, right? Object, class. Class is nothing but the blueprint of that object. And then the other things are like inheritance. And then polymorphism. And abstraction, encapsulation. So today, like mostly in this OOPS concept, we are going to focus on these four things: inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So what are all this? So I'll just explain you one by one. Let's take inheritance for now. Inherit. Then let's have taken a main class in that. So what is inheritance? Inheritance is nothing but inheriting, just in a general terms, general word. So definitions you would get anywhere if you just Google it. But I would just explain you in simple terms. So inheritance would be what? Inheriting some properties. So they would be a parent and a child. So child would inherit the properties of parent, right? In a general world as well. So same way. So acquiring property of one particular class to the other is what we call inheritance concept. And how do we achieve that inheritance? using the keyword called extends. Let me write that. So here, inheritance, just acquiring property, right? So property from one class to other class, and then we achieve this using a keyword called extends. So in whichever class we want to acquire the property of other class, so in that class we just write this extend keyword and then which class you want to acquire. So here, let's say I would give you an example. So first I'll create another class, which is, let's say, a car class, and I don't want any main method in that. So let's say this is a parent class, parent and a child. So if you say just parent class, main class, first class, whatever you say. So again, now this car classes would have, let's say we have some properties in this car class. What would be those properties? Like the uh, some variables or the methods here. So int, I would say number one is just 100. So I've declared one variable. Leave about this variable for now. Only thing is, let's focus on the methods for now. So what method would a car have? So we generally can have a method called start car, and then stop the car, right? Some functionality, whatever car would have, we can give that. And apart from this, we also have refuel, let's say. So this three methods. So how to complete this method, you would know, right? Basically a method would need public, void, and then these things. So the method names we have already defined, so we just want this signatures, right? So this thing. And whatever code we write it in here would be executed, right? For our example, we'll just write some print method saying, okay, we are in this particular method, or this is there. So we are in car has started. Whenever this method is called, we can say car has started. And similar way, car has stopped. For so we have this type of methods for now. So car is refueled. So this is, we are writing it as let's say we are considering it as parent class. And now what would be the child class? So we have cars, right? What are the types of cars? We have BMW, we would have Audi, all those different cars, right? So for example, we will take BMW, and in this BMW as well, I just don't want to take main method for now. Again, this BMW, we are considering it as a child class. So child class, how do we say? First of all, we'll define all the properties of this BMW, the child class again. So again, this child class would have what? Same start method, as well as some other properties, right? So whatever a car has, we want those properties. Other BMW or whatever child classes would again have same methods. So if you are okay with this implementation, we can use this methods, as well as apart from this, let's say uh, this class has also implemented another method called some safety measures it has taken. Some kind of safety method wherein we'll again just print it. So we are in which class? We'll say BMW. BMW EMW safety. So we have this method. Now let's say we have our inheritance demo class, let's say. So in this class, so we have defined two classes. One is parent class, wherein few methods are there here, and another class wherein we have declare few of the other methods. So now in our inheritance, the demo class, what we'll do is we'll try to read those properties. So how to, let's say for child class, we want to create an object. So BMW is a class, right? So BMW object, if I want to create, I would say class name, some reference or this thing, I'll say B for now, new, and then class name. And now if I say B dot, so whatever properties are present in this child class would be accessed. So what methods we have here, some basic what Java would give. Apart from that, you see BMW class, right? So we have safety method. So this safety method. And now if we execute, see here in this particular class, we are getting the safety method, right? So in this, we have written this one. But what about the parent one? So have we established any relation between these two classes? No, right? Between a car and BMW. So if you want to establish a this parent child relationship, so what we have to do is, so BMW needs to extend the parent class, which is car. So with this keyword, now if you see, this BMW would not only have this methods or this property, it would also have this properties. So here in our demo, we'll see like in this class. So when you say B dot, now if you see, you have refuel, you have safety, you have start, stop, this thing. So BMW car, first thing, let's say if we want to access car would start, right? So B dot start method, yes, we can access, and then B dot refuel, yes, we can do, and then B dot some safety methods. We have written this. This is in the child class, but whereas these two methods are in the parent class of this BMW, which is this one. And next B dot other method, and even the variables that we have declared globally, you see this number one, even this is accessible in this child class. Since we have extended that, global variable of this class is also accessible. Same way here, if we are creating an object of that child class, even here we are able to access that variable if we just want to print. And then I would say stop. Now if you execute this, this is what car has started, car has refueled, this thing, and car has stopped, right? So this is how we achieve inheritance basically. So BMW is a child class wherein it's acquiring the properties of the parent class, which is car. And apart from this, again here as well, we can write some own methods of this BMW. So general car, how to start, they might have written some code, right? So with that, apart from that, if a particular car has their own style, own method to start the what we say, the car, BMW car. So we can write again the same method. Again, method would be having the signature public void, and all this we are declaring as non-static for now, let's say. So as soon as we give this, you see this start same method is also present here in the parent class. So if you just mouse over here, you see overrides. So which means the same method is also there in the parent class and you are overwriting here. So I would say some custom method to start BMW. So in this I've written like this. If you say, so now when start method is called, which one does it call? Is it going to call the child car method or the parent method? So if you just see execute, it would basically prefer the child class object. So here, since you have created that object only, and then b dot start would go here first to your class, and if it would check if you have that particular method. If you have, that's fine. If you don't have, since it is having, it has executed this. So car refuel is not having here, but car refuel is there in car class. So car class, so that refuel is, so that message is printed here. So this is how this inheritance concept works. So I hope this is clear. So I'll just give 2 minutes for someone if they want to understand these things, take some time, and then want to ask any doubts. Yeah, feel free to ask.
Yeah, Pradeep. So I have a question here.
Yeah.
So let's say if after declaring the same method in the child class with the same name, but I want to execute the code of the parent class method, then how to achieve that inheritance?
So we use a super keyword over here, and but to be frank, I just don't want to give too much information for now here, since this is just a starting. And for automation, when we are going, I guess few of the basics would be enough for us. So if I just again give all those through, I guess people might get confused. So yeah, for your question, I would say super keyword we can use, and then yeah, if you want that uh, in more detail, then we can discuss this offline. You can contact me, and then yeah, we can discuss.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So normally we do all these things by using like, let's say if you are not using any inheritance concept, and if you also handle all these operations by creating the objects of the classes of different like, let's say you have 10-20 classes and you create the object for individual class and acquire the properties, then how come this inheritance will make a difference by using an extend keywords? We have an also alternate solution in the Java, right? So what is the like advantage of using this extends or inheritance concept?
So object creation. So you mean now you would create object for this particular class car object in your main class where you want to access. So you would create car object and then access the properties of car. And then for BMW, again, you would create an object for BMW class and access those methods. So if there are again 10 methods, so all those 10 methods objects you would create and you would access it. So instead
No, no,
of that, yeah.
not 10 method objects. I'll really create a single object for a particular class, because Java is all talks all about objects, right? So there will be a single entity of a class, and irrespective of n number of methods which are present in that class, I don't care about those methods. I just need an object of that class. Rather than using a keyword called extends, I can just create an object and I can use the property, right? So I just want to differentiate the usage of inheritance with respect to the object creation in Java.
Well, to be frank, I'm unable to get your question here. Uh, I guess yeah, we can discuss offline if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So is it Rahul, right?
Yeah, Pradeep.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Rahul. Yeah, we can discuss that offline. So I hope this inheritance concept, whatever I've given a walkthrough, is clear for everyone. And now let's move on with the other ones. For now, I'll just take the other one, which is encapsulation. So let's say we have this encapsulation. What encapsulation mean? In general terms, kind of capsule, closed or a binding. So we are what we are doing is we are just binding the property into a single entity. Is what encapsulation we can say. And encapsulation also has it is also called data hiding, which means we are just hiding our data or whatever properties we have in just one particular entity, either a class. So that is data hiding. Or I'll give you some example here. So how we do this. So let's say we have some variables, or I would create employee related data. Let's consider that. So employee would have name, ID, and a age, let's say. So we have these three variables. So employee name, right? So we have that as string employee name. So this variable, since I don't want this to be access outside of this class, I would have a access modifier which we already discussed as private, right? So with this private keyword, we are just restricting this particular variable access outside of this class. The same way, name we have int employee age we have, which is again a private. For now, we'll just take this two. And now this two thing, or int salary as well, I will take employee salary. So we have these three variables, let's say. Now these three variables, if we have created private, what else we can do? So let's say what, like whenever a particular class is called, we want to get or set the employee name or age, salary, whatever it is. So how do we do that? With the help of methods we can set, or generally here itself you can set those values. So employee name is what, ABC something. So you can give these values, but again, every time when you call, it would give us only this particular values, but we don't want these things, right? So uh, whenever we are trying to call this particular class, we want to set it explicitly and then get the value whatever is set. So in that case, we would have getters and setters. So basically we can achieve this data hiding thing with getters and setters, creating members as private, and then public methods we can create, which is getter and setter. So how to do that? So we have, let's say, employee variable. So for that, how to set some value? So one shortcut way is what? Right click on this, or I would say just not to go with that thing. So we'll do that later. For now, I would say a method called set employee name. So this is my method that I want to set. Again, this set employee method should accept a parameter which is, I would say, name for now, string name. And then since I said this is a method, we need to write the method signature, just public void this way. And now in this, how to set? So whatever value is coming, which is name, that value I want to assign it to this variable. So we can do it this way, or let's say if both variable names are same. So this is also employee name and this is also employee name. So employee name, I want to assign this employee name to this class variable. So for that, we have a keyword called this dot. So just to differentiate between this particular variable and this particular variable. We use this kind of thing. So here we have set the employee name. So same way you can also set for age and set for employee salary. And the other thing is you can also now get how to get same way, just like set method, we'll just create another get method to get the name, and get method doesn't accept any parameters because just we are trying to get whatever value stored in this variable. So again the same this thing. So here what it returns, here we need to just return, and then if we say get employee name would give us this particular variable. So this particular variable we want to return, right? So when we return it, whatever value is stored in this particular employee variable, the method type of this should be changed, right? Since we are returning a string, so it shouldn't be void, it should be string. So for one variable, one thing we have already defined. Same way for other two also we can do. So this way we can do, or else the quickest way would be just right click here and you would have what, you get by default this would get us we can set getters and set methods. I'm just trying to find that shortcut. Generate correct indentation. Yeah, generate setter. So in source, you see here generate getters and setters. So if you see employee salary and then employee age. So whatever the private variables we have created here, if you see those private variables would come, and for which particular variables you want to create setters and getters. So I want to create for employee as well as age. So select those and say generate. Once you click on generate, you would get those things. You see here. So for salary, get salary and set salary. Same way, name we already did, and age. So all these variables are set now. Now in this particular class, let's say we want to access. So how to gain, now how to set employee name first thing. So since these are all non-static, what we'll do is we'll create an object encapsulation. So this is what E1 I would say for now. So at this point of time, if I ask what the employee name is, if I ask to print, let's say system.out.println. So our E1 object dot employee name. So if I execute this employee name, what do we get? We get it as null. Reason? So we are just accessing a variable to a global variable, the instance variable, and by default, Java would set the value as null. For a string, for a age, for a integer, it would set it as 0. So yeah, without setting, you are accessing it here, right? So let's say before accessing, I would set some and then get the value. So how to do that? So again, E1 dot you would have, so employee name. Employee name I want to give as uh, EMP1. Same way, this employee one name, age is, I would take 20, E1 dot employee salary, some 100, I would say. So this, after setting, now if you want to access, E1 dot employee name. So you see, this is first one, this is second one. Second time, if you are just accessing, what are we getting? EMP1, because we have already set the value of that object and then we are accessing. So same way for other two things you can get it. So this is how like not only in this particular method, from other method as well we can access this variables, again this methods. So how are we just hiding the data here, or what security level are we providing here? So with the help of private keyword, we are just restricting this access, right? And again, so say employee salary is there, right? So if we just declare it as private variable, or a public variable, again I say, so a public variable, and then anyone outside of this class can access salary, employee salary, which is confidential, right? So those things they can even set and they can even get. So if we just want to restrict that, so we for that purpose we just give a keyword called private here. So with this thing, none of the classes outside of this particular class would be accessing a private variable. So again, a salary, even for a setting, so it's not compulsory that you would need a set method and a get method for your variable. So get, yeah, you can write it, but set method, even if you don't write, that's fine. So whatever set you have done, which one I have removed, age, right? Or a salary, let's say. So set salary we have done, right? I'll remove this. So set salary. Now salary, we can define it here only, like say 100,000, whatever it is. So this one we can set, and anytime if with this get employee salary only, it would return whatever value is being stored. Now let's say again you might ask, so someone can access the salary, so if we just want to restrict this one to some particular users as well, so for that what we can do is, we can, when we are returning, we what we can do is we can write an if condition saying uh, so before getting, we'll try to uh, give some, what I would say, a keyword. uh, Generally for any let's say you, when you're opening a lock, right, so you need to have a key. So same way, something if confidential, if you just want to access that, what we'll do is, before getting, we would ask from the user itself, like string some kind of key. So here we'll say key is ignore case, so equals, if this key is equal to here whatever key I would set, so let's say Pradeep for now. So if this key is set, then only I want to return this employee salary, whatever it is set. Else I would throw an error, or what we can do is I would say return 0 every time. So if the user, whoever wants to access the employee salary, and if he's the authorized user, then I would provide him personally the key. So if you want to access employee salary, pass as Pradeep, and whoever doesn't have this key, they would get value as 0. So this way we can restrict the access and get like even we are providing security for the variables or whatever we do in this class. So I hope this is pretty much it about encapsulation and inheritance. So yeah, someone wants to ask any doubts, feel free to. I hope I was audible and everyone was clear with what I've told till now.
Yes, Pradeep.
Yes, Pradeep, it is clear and topics were clear. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
go ahead.
cool. Thank you. Thanks for confirming. So we have gone through what inheritance we have done, encapsulation. So now we have another two, which is abstraction and polymorphism. So we have time right here. I would take now polymorphism, let's say. So what is polymorphism? So in general term, I would say poly is nothing but many, right? So what we can say here is uh, one to many. What we say is polymorphism. So one form, like we have one particular object or a thing, entity, whatever you call. So one to many. So same variable, same entity, same object or a method, what we say, it would have different roles, different methods. So that is what polymorphism we mean. So if I have to give you more example, so let's say we have addition of two numbers, a method, right? So this is one method. Now again, another form of addition would be what? Same addition, but with different number of like parameters, num1, int, num2. So we have this one. So again, the other form would be like add more than two parameters. So that would be again same addition we are performing, but with different implementations, different types. So this is nothing but polymorphism. And I'll give you one example here. So we'll create addition of two numbers, same thing here. So public void add this thing, system.out.println. Here we'll add two numbers, let's say. So this method, when we call, so how to call? We, since this is non-static, we create object of this class equals to new, and then p1 dot add method. If I call now, when I execute this, it would give addition of 2 plus 3 5. The same way, as I said, we can also have different forms, right? Again here, what, int a, int b, we'll add. So same method name, same name, only thing is parameter change. So this way, here instead of adding this two, we'll just say a plus b. Now when we are calling that method, so we can either call this one or this one. So one we have already called, we will call this particular other method. Here we can pass parameters. So let's say I would pass 3 and 0, and when I execute, you see this is calling this particular method and this is being executed. So this is now polymorphism. I would say we have same method but different parameters. And how do we achieve this? So first thing, so there are again static polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism. We have that, and for now, I'm thinking just I was about to tell this one in the other class, but I was actually expecting some of the doubts or some questions regarding inheritance and the encapsulation from the ones who is like attending these classes from few days. I was actually expecting, if they are not clear or they want to ask. Uh, so because I was planning to explain this polymorphism and the other one in just one class, the next one. But before this, I also wanted to have some programs, basic programs like uh, as I said, reversing of two numbers or string, and then printing prime numbers or natural numbers from 1 to 100. All those basic programs I was about to explain, and then like that's tomorrow, and whoever is yeah available even offline, as I said, to the institute, I might come tomorrow if based on few of the candidates who are available here in Hyderabad and they want to come and interact with, and then we can have an offline class as well as online as well. Only thing is, yeah, in offline, uh, whoever is unable to ask any doubts here in online, I guess they might be more comfortable asking that offline. So I was thinking to come to institute and have this discussion with them. So yeah, if you guys are interested in this and want to uh, come to institute, so do let me know. Based on the number of candidates, I might uh, come to institute. Else, yeah, we'll just again continue the same thing online only. So yeah, this more polymorphism in more detail, I will just again explain in the other class. For now, we have just done inheritance and encapsulation. So yeah, I'll just give another 5 minutes for now. Whoever wants to ask any doubts or whoever wants to refer something, yeah, they can be here, or else, yeah, we are good to close today's session if no one has any doubts. So whoever doesn't have any doubts, they are feel free to leave this class. So we are done for the day.
Hello, Pradeep. Hi.
Yeah.
This is Rahul. In polymorphism, for achieving polymorphism, only the same class we should use, or in different classes, using different classes also we can achieve this.
Yeah, those are again, like as I said, I will continue this topic later. But yeah, just to answer your
Okay.
question, yeah, we can achieve in one is in same class we are doing this, right? So this is nothing but method overloading. And then in two different class, if you just want to achieve that, we can do that. And that's where we can't do method overloading, but in that case we can do method overriding. So just which means we have this implementation, right? So this implementation Same thing in another class when we are extending it again this class. So this same method we can re-implement. Instead of saying a plus like 2 plus 3, we can say 5 plus 8. So we are changing the implementation, overriding the method of the existing one. So that is what it is called overriding, method overriding.
Okay,
So that
in
I
the
showed
same
you
class
different
means it will be overriding.
method over in the same
Overloading.
class. It is method overloading. Same
Okay.
method but different forms. So this,
And
these details I will probably give you more in the next
in the next
next
class.
session.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Fine, fine. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Any other questions you want to ask? Basically more on this encapsulation and inheritance. I hope this is clear. Why do we need to encapsulate
Yes, yeah,
the
this is
everything?
clear. Encapsulation and inheritance concept is clear.
Inheritance. So mostly
Yeah,
we
it's
use
clear.
inheritance in our framework, Selenium framework, just to avoid the code duplicacy, and then like same methods, instead of creating it multiple times again and again, we just tend to use that extends keyword and then access that.
Yes, yes, I'm clear with this. And about that super keyword, you said you will explain it later. So we'll look for that afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, then I
thanks.
guess if there are no further questions, we are good to close. Thanks, everyone.
Yep, thank you, Pradeep. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Shankar.
Yeah, thank you, Pradeep.
Yeah.